Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here. Are you guys still trying to figure out what parts of your rundowns have the hottest numbers for your states? Well, I want to share with you how to use a 1, 2, 3, 4 rundown and how date some numbers may help you decide what hot numbers to pick for your state. Okay, so we're going to have an example from Pick for Virginia. Shout out to all of the members that are in VA. I hope this is very helpful for you guys. We're going to actually backtrack this, okay? I try to make sure you guys know that you should be keeping up with your midday and your evening draws so that you can start to figure out and see what patterns. Now, the thing is, there's so many numbers on here. It's like, where do I go, right? Where do I start to look for some hot numbers? Well, date some numbers could be your friend here, okay? So we're going to backtrack this. Let's go to March 16th. March 16th, we have a midday hit of 6308, and we also have an evening hit of 7060, okay? Now, what I want you guys to do is pay close attention to the date sum for the day that these are hitting. And the reason why is because they could be coming a day after. You guys been noticing that with some of the states, you're thinking the date sum, you have some really hot numbers, but they're not playing. They're either playing the day before or the day after. This is what could be going on for VA. Okay, so let's take, for instance, we can actually take either row, and we'll start with the 1, 2, 3, 4 rundown using the 7060 hit in the evening. And as you see here, we have all of these columns here that we have to put together. So if you don't know how to put a rundown together, it's very simple to do. You lock in your last hit that you're going to use, and you're simply going to add each of these numbers down the columns. Well, the first column, we're going to add 1 all the way down. So 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. For your 2-digit number, only use your ones, place your 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 6 plus 1 is 7. So the number you start with will be the number you end with, okay? Then you would add 2 all the way down the second column, 3 all the way down the third column, and 4 all the way down the fourth column. Now, I want you to pay attention to your date sum numbers, guys. Make sure the date that you're working for after you found out what your mid and your evening hit was, make sure you know what the date sum number is for that particular day. Not a future date, but for that date that you're working or that the numbers have already hit. So March 16th, the date sum number, okay, I want you to pay attention. If we add March 16th together, 3 plus 16, we get the number 19. Now the number 9 is actually the date sum number, okay? If you see 9 or its mirror together, either your left or right sides of your rundown, Virginia, you may want to pay close attention because that's where possible hot numbers could be. And they're forming in a particular pattern formation, okay? So if you notice here, you have the 9-4 here, and then you have a 9-9 here. So these, both of these are very hot to look at because they fall in line with the date sum number. Now let's talk about something really quick. Let's talk about mirror numbers. Because I know some of you like 9 and 4. What's 9 and 4? You see the 9-9, right? But what's the 9 and 4 about? Well, they're called mirror numbers. They're the same number, but they're just opposite of each other. There are other mirror numbers, so make sure you know what they are. A 0 could be a 5, or 5 could be a 0. You might see that. 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. 2 could be a 7, 7 could be a 2. 3 could be an 8, 8 could be a 3. 4 could be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4. These are some other mirror numbers. So either way, you have this 9-9, okay, that's in the first 2 columns, and you have this 9-4. Why are they so important? Because this is the same date sum number for that day that the numbers already hit, okay? Now, I've been noticing, you'll see here these numbers 9012, 9012. I already have those marked, okay? 9012, just going straight down, actually came the next evening at 0291. 0291. It actually just came right off of those mirrors. or the doubles right here. You notice they were both hot for that day. So whenever you see that, pay close attention. Now that was kind of like an easy hit, right? Well, sometimes they may not just go straight up and down, and some days you may not see a date sum number at all. They may use a different pattern. So start practicing where you're seeing some of your other hits. Let's go to the next day, okay? So here we have the hit 7960 that played March 17th. Okay, this was their day hit or midday hit. Now, again, pay attention to that date sum number, because once the numbers have already hit and you see a date sum number, especially in your first two columns, whether there be doubles or mirrors, that could be telling you to pay attention. So 0 is the date sum number. 0 or 5, we see the 0, 5 and the 5, 5 here. Wow. So these areas could be very, very hot. Okay. So make sure you're paying attention. Now, if I was looking at the patterns, I probably just would have went 0, 1, 2, 3 all the way down. Okay. Or it's mirror 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I might have just used those particular if I was just using here, but something else happened. Now, a lot of times they are using one of the date numbers, but they use both mirrors, and then they made an L shape on the other side. So this is telling you this is another pattern formation. 0579. Pay attention to that. 0579. Why? Because it hit the next midday. 0579, March 18th. Nice. Okay. Now you notice this went evening to evening. This went, the 0291 went evening to evening. The 0579 went mid to mid. So you have a couple of things to look at for Pick 4 Virginia. Okay. So make sure you're paying attention to the same date sum number, okay, that they could move. They may not just be in the left side. Like I'm already seeing date sum, but they're in the middle, kind of at the end of the columns. So you want to pay attention to that to see if they're starting to move. With that, I've noticed them, they were in the first two columns, and if you want to stick to that, practice on paper. Don't just go out to the store and spend money. But those are some of the main hot areas you may want to stay in. So Pick 4 Virginia, I hope this is helpful, and we'll see you on the next video.